Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the virtual commencement honoring the Alpena High School class of 2020. At this time, we will have two members of the class of 2020 that have selflessly selected to join the United States military to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us as Gabe Bullis and Toby Kruger state the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Gabe and Toby. At this time, please join me as Alpena High School choir senior Casey Stevens sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets roared round, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Casey. Students, staff, family, and friends, good afternoon and welcome to the Alpena High School class of 2020 graduation ceremony. My name is Tom Behrman, and as principal, it is my pleasure to welcome you. It is a pleasure to recognize those who would also be traditionally behind me on stage during our commencement ceremony. First, from the Alpena Public Schools Board of Education, President, Mr. Gordon Snow, Mr. Michael Barnett, Mr. Stephen Denikuski, Ms. Carrie Jones, Ms. Stacy Parr, Mr. Ned Heath, Mr. Tom Hilberg, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Van Wagner, and Assistant Superintendent of K-12 Instruction, Mrs. Megan Gauthier. Graduates and guests, we have some special folks we need to recognize for the hours of work they have put into making this event become reality. First, we would like to thank Ms. Bridie Huggard for all of her hard work, as she is the heart and soul of Alpena Public Schools and continues to be the leader of senior events here at the high school. So we want to thank Bridie for all of her hard work. We want to thank Ms. Lisa Rosenbeck for all of her organization when it comes to the events surrounding this year's commencement. Also want to thank the hardworking counselors, Ms. Lori Vogt, Ms. Robin Miller, Ms. Barb Madison, and Ms. Mary Douse for all of their hard work in helping each and every one of these graduates achieve the ultimate goal of graduation. We also want to thank Ms. Kendra Clark, who is the college advisor this year. Even though she is not returning next year, we want to thank her for all of her hard work this school year. And I also want to give a special thanks to all of the hardworking staff of Alpena High School who definitely earned their stripes this year when on March 13th our entire world changed. So again, thank you Alpena High School staff for everything they do. Now let's talk a little bit about the class of 2020. During the 1920 school year, the class of 2020 earned a staggering amount of combined advanced placement, dual enrollment, and Alpena Early College credits. Many of these credits they will take with them into their next chapter of life. The class of 2020 also distinguished itself in the classroom as one of the best in the state of Michigan and in the United States, as once again Alpena High School was recognized in the U.S. News and World Report as one of the top high schools in the country. We had two National Merit Scholarship finalists this year in Miss Emmeline Hanna and Mr. Matthew Fisher. When all is said and done, the senior class will have been awarded over $2 million in scholarships to help our students further their education. Those students honored with the Besser Foundation Excellence in Education Scholarship had a cumulative GPA of 4.045. Many students met the rigorous expectations to complete their career technical education certifications, helping propel them into their workplace, many of which will be returning to school once the building reopens to finish those certifications. This year's class also had one of the largest and most successful cohorts in the history of the Alpena Early College program. The reality is time and time again, this senior class has proved that they have what it takes to get the job done, and time again, they have gotten that job done with flying expectations. First, we want to also recognize the parents, the guardians, and the grandparents of this year's graduating class. As our world changed back in mid-March, your roles in the homes also changed, and we also want to make sure that we extend our heartfelt congratulations and respect to the guardians, parents, and grandparents of our graduating class, who each had a very big role in helping their graduate meet today's graduation expectations. Today, 280 plus young adults are ready to move on from the role of student into the role of alumni of Alpena High School. No year has been like this year. This graduating class began this school year back in August, ready to go through the rites of every graduating class that has come before them. Unfortunately, this year's senior class did not have the ability to write the end of their high school chapter like they would like it to be. That is the unfortunate part. Fortunately, as their new chapter begins, it is a blank page. Nobody controls how you write your next chapter. No pandemic can take away your future goals. This senior class was born in the immediate aftermath of the September 11th terrorist attacks. All of our graduating seniors grew up in a world post 9/11. Only those of us that were alive prior to those disastrous days in September of 2001 will remember what the world was like. Now, these seniors have an opportunity to lead us into the post-COVID-19 world. Again, this is not a traditional year we've had. But then again, this senior class is anything but tradition. The senior class broke tradition by winning the Spirit Jug as juniors, upsetting the class of 2019 at Winterfest a year ago. That began the path of untraditional success for this graduating class, and they continue it to this day. Winnie the Pooh once said, "How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard?" That quote best exemplifies this spring for this graduating class. Yes, this spring has been hard. It's been tough. The emotions will continue for years to come of things that this senior class never got to experience. But do not let those lack of experiences tarnish the success you've had as a Wildcat. We will forever be grateful for the leadership that the senior class showed in the face of tremendous disappointment. If your future is anything like the last few months have been, this community, this country, this state is in great hands as our senior class begins their next venture. Your class quote says, "You are on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go." When you decided on this class quote way back in the fall, you had no idea what that quote would mean by June of 2020. So I encourage you to take that quote to heart. You know that you are the one to decide where you go. And just know that that next chapter in life is blank, and that whatever you choose to do is of your own, and you will make it successful no matter what you do. We love the class of 2020. We are tremendously respectful for the tremendous gratitude that you have shown everybody as you've moved into this next chapter of life. So again, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. And the adults that have been around you for the last few months will always remember the grace and humility you showed as we moved through this pandemic. Thank you to the graduating class for everything that you have done.
And now for a special choir performance, the Alpena High School Choir will be performing "You Will Be Found" from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. This is the musical piece that the choir was intending to play at this year's commencement.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let the lonely feeling wash away. 'Cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand and know someone will come running, and I know will take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You'll be found. There's a place where we don't have to feel alone. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. You only say the word from across the silence. Your voice is heard. Whoa, someone will come running. Whoa, to take you home. Take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, as you reach up and you rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, as you reach up and you rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. Even when the dark comes crashing through, you will be found. When you need someone to carry you, you will be found. You will be found.
Thank you, Alpena High School Concert Choir. The voices you heard were Brianna Boyk, Olivia Heron, Hope Himes, Elizabeth Kalashewski, Haley Monty, Nieva Knight, Dominic Nadeau, Shelby Ryan, and Jinglong Yang. We also want to extend a very heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Baker for all of her hard work during her time here at Alpena High School. As she enters into the next chapter of retirement, we want to wish her the best, and she will truly be missed. We also want to wish good luck in retirement to Mr. Limbeck, Mr. Way, and Mrs. Zinke, as well as Mr. Musso and Mr. Lawyer. Thank you, and we will miss every one of you. And now for a special band performance, as the Alpena High School Band performs Arabesque that was performed back in February during the district festival at Standish. Excellent job of the Alpena High School Band. The Alpena High School Wind Ensemble was selected to perform at the 2021 Michigan Music Conference at DeVos Performance Hall in Grand Rapids. This is the highest honor that any band can receive in the state of Michigan.
At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing three remarkable students from the class of 2020, Alexandria Bruning, Ivan Brown, and Molly Dickinson. These three students have all taken different roads to this day, but they all have reached the finish line as one. It is safe to say they have all left their marks at Alpena High School. Their comments both center around the class motto, which I mentioned earlier. Even though their speeches center on the same topic, they have each put their own spin on the quote. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2020 speakers, Alexandria Bruning, Ivan Brown, and Molly Dickinson.
We, the class of 2020, stand here today at the precipice of our adult life. It's not a distant reality anymore. It's not something that we can push off until another day. It begins here and now. We began our freshman year as young kids and teens, eager to see what this mythical place was like. But we're leaving here as adults. I had nothing going for me at the junior high. I didn't know who I was or what I wanted to be. I was alone. Yet here I am. And here we are, proudly saying that we made it despite everything that our graduating class has been through. And through every bad decision I've made, I am here, and I am better for it. I know who I am. I made the path that led me here. And you all have made your own paths leading here. No matter where we go or what we do, there are challenges that we will face ahead of us. Sadly, our senior year was one of them. This year for some was a big disappointment. We were robbed of many memories we would share, but yet here we are. What I hope our class can do is meet those future challenges we will have straight on with your head held high. In the future, you will face problems that you will fail at fixing. That is a guarantee. You will fail and mess up and get hurt. And I know many of us have made huge mistakes already, and we've only been on this earth for 17 to 18 years. We will one day be able to smile on those mistakes and realize the potential growing inside of us that it instilled. I have seen many of you grow as people from preschool on up. I am proud to stand alongside of you and say we are the class of 2020. We are the class whose future is clear, and we are on our own. We know what we want to do, and we decide where we want to go. Thank you all, and thank you AHS for giving me the best and worst 4 years of my life.
Wait, just give me a little bit.
That was...
No, I'm literally crying. Okay, this is not good.
Here we are, graduation day. Instead of being inches away from one another, we are screens away, having to stay 6 feet away from the ones we love. Class of 2020, I know this is not how you wanted to graduate, let alone end the last 4 years of your high school career at AHS. But this has only made us stronger, not just as a class, but as our own individual people. We will be some of the best doctors, teachers, engineers, and lawyers the world has seen, because we know now not to take a moment of our precious life for granted. I remember having a meeting with Mr. Poley a few weeks before the first day of freshman year. He sat me down and explained how high school was going to just fly by. Of course, I didn't believe him. But before I knew it, I was experiencing my last Friday night football game, last homecoming, last pep assembly, and last day walking through those student-filled hallways, not knowing it would be the last time. Although this isn't the senior year we asked for, we can still make it one to remember in our own way. Our class motto is, "You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who'll decide where to go," by Dr. Seuss. We picked that motto long before any of us knew what 2020 had in store for us, but nevertheless we chose it because we are the class that is going to make a difference in the world. We have the power to make it an impact on everything and everyone we encounter. Now what we do with that power is up to us. I encourage you to take a moment to grieve all that we have lost this year, but also celebrate all the accomplishments you have achieved. You made it. After 18 long years, you have made it to the end of another chapter, and soon, the next one will begin. So class of 2020, congratulations. Here's to you. Let's go make the next chapter one and never forget.
When we started our first day of kindergarten, junior high, and high school, it always remained true that we were on our own in a new place, guided by what we had learned thus far. Finally, we were in control of our actions, and our parents, grandparents, or guardians could only hope that we remembered what they had taught us. Be polite, say please and thank you, and listen to our teachers. In another blink of an eye, we will be in that same place again, but this time in a much larger way. Today, we graduate from high school. Today, we officially move into the adult world. Once again, we have the opportunity to choose to be a leader or to be a follower, to live for today or to procrastinate that until tomorrow, and to chase our dreams or leave our potential untapped. I hope that we choose to utilize the tools that we have obtained over these past 18 years in order to change the world for the better, one step at a time. It can be intimidating for us to be on our own, no one to guide us or make decisions for us. We are taking charge of who we want to be. But what do we do with this newfound independence? I encourage us all to take each day one step at a time. We learned this early on, as when we were in kindergarten, we had to focus on finishing kindergarten before ever having to worry about graduating from high school. Tomorrow will have its worries, but focus on enjoying today for today. Today we may be on our own, but do not forget who helped us along this journey, our families, friends, teachers, and role models. They will still be rooting for us from the sidelines, so let us all show our appreciation for our personal cheerleaders. Today is a celebration for us all. In the wise words of Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. As we embark on our next adventures, we will meet new people. Let us remember to be kind, one of the many reminders that we learned from an early age. Lastly, I encourage us all to take a chance to grow, utilizing the knowledge we've obtained over these past 18 years. We know what we know, and that will take us far. Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go book was read as we started our journey into our childhood education, and it still holds true as we graduate today. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. Cherish these words, and you will continue to achieve your wildest dreams and ambitions. Congratulations, class of 2020. Oh, the places we all will go, changing the world with the tools that Alpena High School has given us. Thank you.
Alexandra, Ivan, and Molly, on behalf of the Alpena High School staff and our community, we wish you the best. And wherever your travels take you moving forward, don't forget to come back and visit as you continue to make this world a better place. One of the most important additions to the senior planning team's responsibilities is to select a staff member they would like to invite to speak at their class graduation. The team had quite the debate over who would be the right to represent the class of 2020. When the online voting was done, they settled on an educator that has been a consistent force at Alpena High School. It is my pleasure to welcome the 2020 staff commencement speaker, Mr. Dave Myers.
It's my privilege to speak to you today on behalf of the staff and faculty of Alpena Public Schools. Congratulations, class of 2020, you are graduating today. There's no doubt that this year and this graduation is different than any graduation that has ever come before us. To state the obvious, I'm sure that this is not the graduation you ever dreamt of or envisioned yourself participating in. But let's pull it together and let's have a Wildcat huddle. Different is not bad or wrong. In this case, different is simply going in a new direction, a direction to deal with the adversity that has been put in front of you. It's what creative people do to overcome the obstacles that have been laid before them. I'm sure that this spring that you've experienced a sense of loss. There were games to be played, meets to run, plays to be performed, musical performances to conquer, proms to be danced, and goals to be achieved. Trust me, as a dad of a graduate of the class of 2020, I understand your sense of loss. But that is not what today is about. Today is a day to celebrate your success and to proclaim that all of the hard work that you have put in for the last 13 years has finally paid off. I do believe that all of us are living and working through historic times right now. No other class has been asked to change or morph as quickly as you guys have. But as Martin Luther King once said, the measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience or comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. There is no doubt that that is exactly where we find ourselves today, in times of challenge and controversy. I personally don't believe that things arbitrarily just happen. I believe that things happen for a reason. So why in the world would the class of 2020 be asked to deal with such serious issues and not simply be enjoying the pleasures of the end of your senior year? I think this virus, as much as we have all despised the way that it has interrupted our lives, has provided for all of us, including you, the graduates of the class of 2020, the opportunity to pause and reflect and to contemplate who you really are and who you want to be as you move into the future. The natural question for us to ask is, what exactly are we supposed to have gained from this experience? I would like to propose a few things for you to consider on this day. Number one, would you agree with me that we've all learned to appreciate the simple little things? Hurrying out the door to grab something at Jimmy John's, or going over to Bagel Stop for lunch, perhaps rushing through the hallways to get to a class before the tardy bell rings, maybe walking out the doors at the end of the school day to go to practice with your friends, or maybe even winning a coveted spirit jug, which your class won 3 times, if I might say. How many of you have truly gained a new appreciation for the simple little things? Number 2, would you not agree that our family, our friends, and our faith have all become much more important to us over the past couple of months? Think back to all of the people who have helped you to get to where you are today. These people have made many sacrifices for you to get to where you are. Make sure that you take the time to thank those who have purposely built into your life to help to make you a better person. Number 3, I think the greatest lesson that we've learned over the last 3 months is about the term essential and who actually is essential. If I would have asked you 3 months ago what that term meant, I would venture to say that your definition of that word would look very different than it does today. Today, when we talk about essential, we think of people that may have been overlooked in the past. We've all been told a million times that it's important to be a team player. Well, if anything carries out of this, I hope that we all learn that we are all essential. In class of 2020, as we look and move towards the future for you guys, we will need each and every single one of you. You are all important. Number 4, last but not least, we have had to deal with fear on a consistent basis for the past few months. You may have experienced fear yourself about your health, your future, your job, potential scholarships, or even just what your summer is going to look like. Fear is a natural emotion to work through, but what I can tell you is that fear cannot rule, dominate, or determine your future. Fear, for some people, can cripple them from accomplishing great things, things that they were destined to do. Though you've been living in uncertain times and potentially fearful times, remember to focus on what you can control and don't waste your time thinking about the things that you cannot control. These are the pressing ideas of our time, and it makes me think of others who have gone before us and also have faced adversity. In American history, those who served during World War II and survived that time period have become known as the greatest generation of all. That generation dealt with great challenges and much adversity. The American way of life was at stake with how they responded to the many demands that had been placed upon them. Going for want, lacking proper food or shelter, seeing loved ones leave to go overseas, fighting on foreign shores. These were serious demands, but they moved our nation forward when it was all said and done because they knew how to work hard, sacrifice to achieve for the good of everyone, and to never ever give up. Their lives to this day is marked by the fruits of their labor. Class of 2020, I do not believe that this historic time will define your class. What will define you is what you do moving forward from here. This school, this place, our traditions, these are all part of your history. They have provided a framework and a skill set for you to move forward as you graduate and make your own mark in the world. 2020 is a term often used by optometrists to label a patient as having perfect vision. It would be great if every single one of you had a perfect vision of where you wanted to go and what you wanted to be. But that's really just not how life works. It's inevitable that you will make mistakes along the way, and you may find yourself sidetracked at points looking for clear direction. Just remember, class of 2020, you have already been challenged. You have already faced adversity, and you have already risen to the challenge. The greatest generation never set out to be given that label. It was given to them in retrospect, looking back at the accomplishments that they had achieved over the course of their entire lifetimes. The lessons they learned in their season of difficulty became the very fiber of who they were and ultimately what made them great. You have earned this day and this graduation and the opportunity to make your mark on the world. We celebrate with you this commencement, as that term does not refer to an ending, but a beginning. This is your beginning. Congratulations, class of 2020. Make your lives great, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Myers, and thank you for helping push our students to greater levels of success.
And now, a special message from the Alpena High School salutatorian and valedictorian.
Hello everybody, I am Ashton Chappin-Mohan, representing the Alpena High School 2020 graduates. Some words of encouragement and wisdom are, despite this ongoing pandemic, we are not forgotten. You may feel robbed of a proper senior year, but don't let this discourage you from achieving your goals. This event has put many in a tough place, but I want you to surpass those obstacles and succeed. Stay safe everybody, and go Wildcats.
Hi, I'm Emmeline, the valedictorian for Alpena High School class of 2020. Well, fellow pupils, we thought we had 2020 vision, but we didn't see this coming. Even though the familiar has disappeared before our eyes, I foresee that we will be resilient and using our ability to envision a better future, build it ourselves. Looking back at the past 4 years, we should be proud of our accomplishments. From sports to academics to community service to much, much more, we have made an impact that is just a glimpse of what our future holds. So use your imagination to dream, because we can become visionary. Focus your energy on the things that you can change and keep looking forward to see the effect that you can have on this world. But don't be too blinded planning for the future to overlook the opportunities and moments that are around you right now. Remember to look out for others and spend time building relationships, because connection and friendship are the most meaningful part of life. Thank your family, friends, and teachers who have gotten you here. Finally, always strive to have a positive outlook, because happiness and kindness can shine through anything. Although the future may be uncertain, it is clear that our future will be bright. Congratulations, class of 2020. Shine on.
To the graduating class of 2020, I just want to say congratulations. You are going to be the most talked about graduating class of all time. So here's to giving them something good to talk about. And as you enter the real world that's about to get really weird, I don't want you to forget how much you've learned, how much you've experienced, and how much you've gone through to get to this point. And as you end your high school career, and I know that this isn't the end that some of you have hoped for, some of you just can't wait for this to be over, and some of you are just going to TikTok your way into adulthood, I just want you to know this, that you have not only what it takes to make it in this world, but to make it better. You are the youngest generation of leaders. You're the youngest generation of change makers. You're the youngest generation of do-gooders, and you have continued to show up for each other time and time again. So whether next year you're taking a gap year, you're headed off to college, you're going to serve our country, you're going to chase your career path, or you're still just trying to figure it out, know this, you're not done. This isn't the end. You may have had to hit pause on your plans, but that doesn't mean that you have to hit pause on your purpose, because the world needs you to unlock your talents. We need you to solve these really big problems. We need you to have the courage to stand up for each other. We need you to have heart for the people who right now are struggling in a big way. So to the class of 2020, I just want to say this. It's your time. You're ready. And when you officially get let loose, get after it. Go find your thing and chase your curiosities.
Now, on to the reason we are here. As a part of their gowns today, students have different designations based on various academic successes. Students with yellow honor cords are designed cum laude and have earned a 3.0 cumulative GPA. Students in the Alpena Early College cohort are designated with a maroon and white cord, signifying the relationship between Alpena High School and Alpena Community College. The students who wear a blue sash are members of the National Honor Society. They have attained a 3.5 GPA or higher and have achieved the required amount of service hours to wear the sash. As I mentioned earlier, the class of 2020 will long be remembered for the academic excellence. Of these 28 students in the top 10% of their class, each one of these students will be graduating with a 4.0 or higher cumulative GPA, with an average of the group being a 4.045. These students are signified by wearing a medallion from the Besser Foundation. These students were honored with the Besser Excellence in Education $1,000 scholarship. The 2020 top 10% are Savannah Avent, Cassidy Beach, Hannah Berger, Ashwin Chapamohan, Kevin Cook, Molly Dickinson, Matt Fisher, Abigail Funk, Alyssa Funk, Emmeline Hanna, Taylor Hanson Bates, Elizabeth Kalashewski, Kiana Meyer, Carly Myers, Nehemiah Rao, Wyatt Romero, Megan Rosanowski, Aubrey Sheldon, Casey Stevens, Lindsay Simi, Samantha Tadian, Madison Timrick, Jonathan Workokowski, Isaac Wolford, Caleb Zaborny, Alec Zilikuski, and Lauren Zilikuski. Congratulations to the top 10% of the class of 2020. And now it's time to honor the Alpena High School graduating class of 2020.
Abigail Elizabeth Adams, Caitlin Marie Allen, Chase Austin Allen, Tyler Michael Anderson, Nomandaria N.D. Arienbold, Riley Patrick Arlt, Kristen Jessica Armstrong, Ivo Lars Arvidsson Ulberg, Samantha Sue Atkinson, Savannah Marie Avent, Callie Nicole Avisis, Maya Gabrielle Ayala Robinette, Jocelyn Marie Bailey, Taylor Paige Baker, Kyle Michael Barbeau, Mason Thomas Barch, Matthew Scott Barrett, Yernar Telgatovich Batsunov, Cassidy Elizabeth Beach, Shelby Lufay Birch, Andrew Rhodes Black, Jeremy Lee Black, George Patrick Bowden, James Hunter Bolanowski, Parker David Bolda, Andrew Jacob Booth, Ashley Marie Bridgewater, Hunter James Brown, Ivan Brown, Austin Richard Brownell, Nathan Gabriel Bruder, Melissa Ann Brunel, Alexandria Jewel Bruning, Gabriel David Bullis, Napat Verana Kitayakom. Hannah Rose Berger. Avery Scott Baroni. Sarah Elizabeth Campbell. Hunter Andrew Canute. Brianna Joy Carroll. Glenn David Carter III. Ashwin Sarubai Chapamohan. Fletcher Chimner. Aiden Michael Chisholm. Nicholas Marian Chabano. Brett Daniel Shupka. Jonathan Alex Clayton. Christopher James Cobb. Colton John Cook. Kevin Maxwell Cook. Ryan Matthew Cook. Devin Lee McPhee Cooper. Gracie Jean Cordes. Nikita Marie Cordes. Rose Cornelius.
Sierra J. Corwin.
Natasha Delamaroma de Agrela. Nikolai Nunes de Agrela. Tanya Renee Doust. Shania Emily Dean Copeland. Zoe Madison DeCette. Brady Alexander DeRocha. Macy Mary Dickinson. Molly Megan Dickinson. Tyler Nicholas Dickinson. Amelia Krista Dixon. Emma Elizabeth Dockrell. Darby Dolliver. Time Doltata. Spencer Roland Domke. Jaden Anderson Duncan. Caleb Jonathan Eaton. Austin Christopher Eller. Alyssa Lynn Fisher. Matthew Wayne Fisher. Emma Christine Fitch. Dylan Joseph Fleck. Constance Bryce Fluharty. Victoria Marianne Foco. Katie Lynn Faust. Amanda Lynn Frey. Abigail Rexanne Funk. Alyssa Ruth Funk. Sangoon Ganbold. Lauren Elizabeth Gabsky. Heidi Marie Garrett. Christopher Duane Geister. Emma Lynn Gentry. Olivia Eileen Gerhart. Morgan Faith Glennie. Colton Irwin Goebel. Kaylee Joe Green. Brooke Ann Greentree. Mercedes Ruth Ann Hall. Savannah Ray Hall. Charlie Joseph Tolan Halleck. Jack Ryan Hamp. Daphne Janelia Hancock. Emmeline Maria Hanna. Taylor Marie Hanson Bates. Eleni A. Hansis. Wenton August Harrison. Rachel Marie Hart. Jonathan Michael Haka. Ethan Vern Heath. Sydney Alexis Irene Hedger. Tanya Sue Hemmingson. Olivia Hope Heron. Rachel Lynn Hightower. Hope Hunter Himes. Ethan Michael Holzman. Rhiannon Rose Jackson. Sasha Elizabeth Jackson. Lauren Olivia Johnston. Thomas Patrick Jor. Zainab Sue Joswiak. Kennedy Ray Kaiser. Isaac David Kelly. Alec Michael Kent. Elizabeth Joan Kalashewski. Bridie Lee King. Mackenzie Ray Kinsel. Brandon Keith Klimczak. Tyler James Konieczny. Dean Allen Kowaleski. Abigail Marie Kroniak. Cameron Eugene Kraus. Elizabeth Ann Kruger. Toby Carl Kruger. Max Aaron Kanicki. Andrew Justin Kuznicki. Andrew William LaFleur Smith. Cameron Dale Laporte. Corey Dale Laporte. Haley Renee Lesage. Wesley Michael Leake. Lexus Gwyn Libka. Alexandra Morgan Lino. Mackenzie Ann Linton. Ethan Todd Lipsky. Austin Isidore Lowell. Joshua Cole Ludlow.
Molly Bell MacArthur. Brooke Madison Mayo. Lucas Griffin Malafont. Lucas Walter Manning. Chloe Annette Maskell. Marissa Aaron Matuzak. Erica Noel McCallum. Haley Elizabeth McCartney. Devin John McGuire. Noah Thomas Jacob McKee. Isabella Rose McKinsey. Zoe Allison McKim. Kiana Marie Meyer. Emily Michelle Miller. Matthew Brendan Molostin. Heather Lynn Minton. Jade Marie Minton. Merrick Robert Minton. Bryant Cad Mitchell. Nathaniel Joseph Mashinsky. Carly Grace Myers. Joseph Allen Nolan. Brady Thomas Oliver. Addison Julia O'Neill. Marley Grace O'Neill. Tanner Justice Orban. Arthur Benjamin Pad. Caleb Wayne Parks. McKenna Lynn Pashley. Cody Michael Pierce. Eva Peng, Jack Xavier Peplinski, Jenna Michelle Peterson, Mitchell William Pfeiffer, Alec Cartman Pilarski, George Matthew Pilarski, Joshua Sam James Pokorzinski, Joshua Matthew Porter, Regan Marie Potter, Mackenzie Nicole Precord, Nehemiah Rao, Taylor Scott Rapson, Audrey Nicole Reed, Gavin Michael Reed, Hope Aaron Reed, Abigail Elizabeth Reich, Alexis Ann Reynolds, Samuel Joseph Romero, Wyatt Edward Romero, Kaylee Christine Rondo, Garrett Michael Rulo, Xavier Todd Rulo, Ona Rure Ramirez, Megan Marie Rosnowski, Anita Keterai Ruth, Triana Jeanette Rushton, Madeline Meyer Sadler, Eric David Sammy, Jamie Lee Sampson, Colin Christopher Sanders, Graham Joseph Sayer, Danielle Ann Shackman, Jacob Daniel Shalkowski, Jake Robert Schiller, Jack Anthony Shemansky. Hunter James Schmidt. Ben Fisher Schrader. Megan Faith Schramm. Hannah Rose Schultz. Jade Marianne Schultz. Jordan Ross Schultz. Nicholas Brinton Schultz. Griffin Burke Sexton. Justin David Seymour Casebeer. Emma K. Shea. Aubrey Nicole Sheldon. Mackenzie May Shields. Ava Marie Schreiner. Ian Thomas Simon. Eric Michael Slosser. Dominic Marshall Smith. Madison Nicole Smith. Michaela Madison Smith. Olivia Rayanne Smith. Georgia Lee Smolinski. Shayna Marie Soik. Keegan Philip Spomer. Bobby Lynn Stage Jr. Kelly James Stark. Kirsten Lorraine Stark. Casey Marie Stevens. Olivia Lynn Stevens. Robert Edgar Stevens. Sean Spencer Stevens. Rachel Lynn Sushak. Lindsay Ray Simi. Jenna Michelle Sitek. Samantha Patrice Tadian. Craig Peter Taglerini. Isaac Lee Tesmer. Ethan Carl Thatcher. Molly May Thomas. Bradley Stephen James Thompson.
Sam Joseph Thompson.
Madison Page Timrick. Caden Michael Tolan. Jenna Grace Torch. Claire Abigail Toth. Gabriel Jeffrey Truman. Lindsay Marie Tumela. Adam Lucas Erlap. Victoria Baya Moreno. Andrew Rance Van Valera. Michaela Ann Fierce. Devin Tyler Villeneuve. Morgan Avery Wallet. Madison Nicole Wamsley. Grace McKinsey Weaver. Taylor Ann Renee Webb. Emily K. Weiss. Jet Christopher Worley. Aaron Lawrence West. Aislinn Marie Westbrook. Tori Madison Whitgreave. Jonathan James Vizikuski. Marley Moon Wills. Eli Brian Winter. Kirsten Renee Wirgo. Isaac Shane Wolford. Trinity Marie Wyman, Jinlong Benjamin Yang, Anna Naoko Young, Caleb J. Zaborni, Eden Marie Zan, Maya Ray Zibtusky, Alec Michael Ziliskowski, Lauren Michelle Ziliskowski.
I now present the 138th graduating class of Alpena High School for graduation as of today, May 31st, 2020. The graduating class numbers 278 students. The members of the class have fulfilled the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Board of Education. Therefore, as high school principal and representative of the Alpena High School faculty, I now recommend the class for graduation to Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Van Wagner.
It is with great pleasure that I extend recognition and congratulations to the Alpena High School class of 2020. At this time, I recommend to the Board of Education President, Mr. Gordon Snow, that the members of this graduating class be awarded their diplomas.
In recognition of the members of the class of 2020 having fulfilled the requirements for graduation, I, on behalf of the Board of Education, now accept the class for graduation from Alpena High School.
Students, today marks a milestone for you and your families. I know it doesn't look like every other graduation did, but the format is not what is important. The accomplishment of graduating from Alpena High School is what matters, and each and every one of you have done it. We all know you accomplish great things in your next chapter of life, but regardless of where you travel or the place you decide to call home, remember this: once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Once again, great job, students. It is my pleasure to present the 138th graduating class of Alpena High School. Congratulations, class of 2020. On behalf of the students, staff, and our great community, we welcome you as Alpena High School alumni. Graduates, would you please turn your tassels and wave to the audience. Welcome, Alpena High School alumni.